What if the greatest danger to Jamie Fraser is not the British Army, not the war, but someone he trusts with his life? In the final chapter of Outlander, the stakes have never been higher. The American Revolution is tearing the colonies apart. Friends are choosing different sides. Families are forced to hide secrets. And in the middle of it all stands Jamie Fraser, a man who has survived battles, prisons, and time itself. But this season may test him in a way he has never faced before, because betrayal does not always come from enemies. Sometimes it comes from the people standing right beside you. And the most terrifying part is that Jamie may not see it coming until it is too late. Season 8 of Outlander is not just another chapter in the story. It is the final stage of a journey that began many years ago when Claire Fraser first stepped through the stones and met the warrior who would change her life forever. Since that moment, Jamie and Claire have faced danger after danger together. They fought in Scotland. They survived betrayal in France. They built a home in the New World. But the world around them is changing faster than ever. The American Revolution has turned neighbors into enemies. People who once shared meals together are now standing on opposite sides of the battlefield. Every choice Jamie makes could place his family in danger. Every alliance he forms could become a mistake tomorrow. War has a way of twisting loyalties, and even the most trusted friends can suddenly become strangers. Jamie has always been a leader. Men follow him because they believe in his courage and his honor. But leadership also means carrying the weight of every decision. If he chooses the wrong ally, people may die. If he trusts the wrong person, everything he has built could fall apart. That is why Season 8 feels different from the very beginning. There is a quiet tension in the air, like a storm waiting to break. Even inside his own home, the future feels uncertain. Jamie's love for Claire has always been his greatest strength, but the knowledge she carries from the future can also be dangerous. She knows things about the war that others do not. She knows which battles will be lost and which victories will come with terrible cost. Keeping those secrets safe is not easy, especially when rumors and fear are spreading everywhere. And then there is the simple truth about war. It changes people. Friends begin to question each other. Promises start to feel fragile. A man who once stood beside Jamie in battle may suddenly have reasons to turn away. Not because he hates Jamie, but because survival sometimes demands impossible choices. This is what makes the idea of betrayal so frightening in the final season of Outlander. Jamie Fraser has defeated many enemies before, but if someone close to him turns against him, even for a moment, the damage could be far greater than any battle. Because the most dangerous betrayal is not the one you expect. In the world of Outlander, secrets are never small. A single hidden truth can change the fate of an entire family. And in Season 8, there may be a secret moving quietly in the shadows. A secret that could place Jamie Fraser in more danger than he realizes. Jamie has always believed that loyalty is the strongest bond between people. The men who fight beside him respect his courage. His family trusts his heart. And the one person who knows him better than anyone is Claire Fraser. Together, they have faced enemies from every direction. But even in a strong family, there are moments when the truth becomes too heavy to share. Season 8 takes place during one of the most dangerous times in history. The American Revolution is spreading chaos everywhere. Messages are being carried. In secret, spies are hiding among ordinary people. Sometimes, information is more powerful than any weapon. If the wrong person learns the wrong secret, lives can be destroyed overnight. Claire knows things about the future that others cannot understand. She knows which battles will happen. She knows which events will shape the world that comes after the war. Most of the time, she keeps this knowledge hidden because changing history could have terrible consequences. But what happens when keeping that secret becomes impossible? Imagine someone discovering even a small part of the truth about Claire's past, about the stones, about the future she came from. In a time filled with fear and suspicion, such a discovery could create panic. Some people might see it as witchcraft. Others might try to use that knowledge for power. And if someone close to Jamie learns this secret, they may believe they are protecting everyone by revealing it. That is where betrayal becomes complicated. Because sometimes betrayal does not come from hate, sometimes it comes from fear. A person might think they are doing the right thing, even if their choice destroys the trust Jamie has placed in them. This possibility creates a deep tension for the final season of Outlander. Somewhere among Jamie's allies, friends, or even family, there may be someone carrying a truth they should not know. And the longer that truth stays hidden, the more dangerous it becomes. Because once a secret like that escapes into the world, there is no way to take it back. And if it reaches the wrong ears, Jamie Fraser may suddenly find himself surrounded not by friends, but by suspicion. The most painful betrayals are never planned by enemies. They come from people who once stood beside you. And in the final chapter of Outlander, that possibility hangs heavily over the story of Jamie Fraser. Jamie has spent his life building strong friendships. On battlefields and in quiet moments at Fraser's Ridge, he has earned the loyalty of many men. They trust his judgment. They respect his courage. When danger appears, they follow him without hesitation. But war has a way of breaking even the strongest bonds. The American Revolution is not a simple fight between good and evil. It is a conflict that divides neighbors, families, and lifelong friends. Some believe the colonies must fight for freedom. Others believe loyalty to the crown is the only path to peace. Both sides believe they are right, and that belief can turn trusted allies into unexpected enemies. Jamie understands this better than anyone. He has always tried to balance honor with survival. Sometimes he must stand with people he does not fully trust. Other times he must question the choices of men he once called brothers. In a time like this, even a small misunderstanding can grow into something dangerous. Imagine a soldier who once rode into battle with Jamie, someone who shared victories and losses with him. Now imagine that same man facing a terrible choice. Perhaps he has family members who support the British side. Perhaps his land, his safety, or his future depends on choosing a different path. Suddenly, loyalty becomes complicated. That man might believe turning against Jamie is the only way to protect what he loves. From his point of view, it may not feel like betrayal at all. It may feel like survival. This is the tragedy of war inside Outlander. Jamie does not only fight soldiers on the battlefield. Sometimes he must face the painful truth that people he trusted are no longer standing with him. And when that moment arrives, it cuts deeper than any sword. Because Jamie Fraser has always believed that honor binds people together. When that bond breaks, it leaves a wound that cannot easily heal. If one of Jamie's old allies truly turns against him in Season 8, the consequences could spread far beyond a single battle. It could shake the very foundation of everything Jamie has built at Fraser's Ridge. And once trust is broken, even the strongest warrior may find himself standing alone. In the world of Outlander, family has always been Jamie's greatest strength. Through war, loss, and the long journey across time, the people closest to Jamie Fraser have always been the reason he keeps fighting. But what if the final season forces someone in his own family to make a choice that could hurt him the most? This is where the story becomes truly emotional. Because betrayal does not always mean hatred. Sometimes it comes from love, fear, or the desperate need to protect the future. Take Jamie's daughter, Brianna Fraser MacKenzie. She grew up in a completely different time. She understands the modern world, science, and history in ways the people of the 1700s cannot imagine. Living in Jamie's time has forced her to face dangers she never expected. She knows the truth about the future, and that knowledge is both powerful and terrifying. If Brianna ever learns that Jamie is about to walk into a battle that history says he cannot survive, what would she do? Would she stay silent and allow events to unfold the way they always have? Or would she try to change the future, even if it risks destroying everything? Then there is Roger MacKenzie, Brianna's husband. Roger has always struggled between two worlds. He is a historian who understands the timeline of events, yet he also lives inside those events now. He knows that even a small change in history can cause huge consequences. But when someone you love is in danger, it becomes almost impossible to simply stand back and watch. Imagine Roger discovering information about a coming betrayal against Jamie. Maybe he believes that warning the wrong person could stop a disaster. Maybe he thinks sharing a secret will save the Fraser family. But what if that decision creates the very betrayal he was trying to prevent? This is the heartbreaking possibility that Season 8 may explore. A member of Jamie's own family might make a choice meant to protect him, but instead, it leads to danger. Because the truth about time in Outlander is complicated. Changing one event can affect many others. Trying to stop tragedy can sometimes cause it. And if someone inside the Fraser family makes the wrong decision, at the wrong moment, Jamie Fraser could find himself betrayed not by an enemy, but by someone who loves him more than anything.
Hi.
That is the kind of betrayal that hurts the most. But what if the real betrayal in Outlander is far more complicated than anyone expects? What if the person who betrays Jamie Fraser is not trying to harm him at all, but trying to save him? This idea may sound impossible at first. Jamie has always been surrounded by people who respect his courage and his honor. He has spent his life protecting the people he loves, especially Claire Fraser. Their bond has survived time travel, wars, and countless dangers. But the final season may test that bond in a way that has never happened before. Claire carries a heavy burden that no one else truly understands. She knows history. She knows the events that will shape the future. Sometimes she even knows the exact moments when tragedy will strike. Living with that knowledge is like watching a storm approach while knowing you cannot easily stop it. Now imagine Claire discovering something terrifying about Jamie's fate. Perhaps she learns that one of his future choices will lead him directly into a deadly trap. Perhaps history already recorded a moment where Jamie Fraser is betrayed by someone close to him. If Claire believes that event must happen in order for history to continue the way it should, she faces an impossible decision. Does she warn Jamie and risk changing the timeline? Does she stay silent and allow events to unfold? The most shocking possibility in Season 8 is that someone may allow a betrayal to happen because they believe it is the only way to protect the future. That kind of decision would not come from cruelty. It would come from fear. It's gone from the painful understanding that some moments in history may be impossible to escape. For Jamie, betrayal has always been simple. An enemy lies, a friend breaks their promise. But this situation would be very different. If someone he loves hides the truth from him for what they believe is the greater good, the wound could be deeper than any blade. Because Jamie Fraser values honesty above almost everything else. Trust is the foundation of his world. If he ever discovers that someone close to him allowed danger to reach him without warning, the emotional impact could be devastating. And that is why this theory feels so powerful for the final season of Outlander. The biggest betrayal may not come from hate, revenge, or ambition. It may come from someone trying to protect the future, even if it means risking Jamie's life. If betrayal truly finds its way into the final season of Outlander, the consequences for Jamie Fraser could be more devastating than any battle he has fought before. Jamie has survived prison, war, and the loss of people he loved, but betrayal is different. It does not attack the body first, it attacks the heart. Jamie has always believed in loyalty. It is one of the reasons so many people follow him without question. The men who ride beside him trust that he will never abandon them. His family believes that no matter how dark the world becomes, Jamie will always protect them. That deep trust is what holds the Fraser family together through every danger they face. But if someone close to him breaks that trust, the emotional damage could shake Jamie in a way we have never seen before. A warrior can prepare for a sword in battle. He can defend himself against an enemy standing in front of him. But when betrayal comes from someone he once trusted, there is no shield strong enough to stop that pain. Imagine Jamie discovering that a secret was kept from him. Imagine learning that someone he relied on made a choice that placed him directly in danger. For a man like Jamie, the first reaction would not only be anger, it would also be heartbreak, because he has always given his loyalty freely to the people he loves. The impact would spread far beyond Jamie himself. The Fraser family depends on unity. Trust begins to break inside that family. It could create tension between everyone who lives at Fraser's Ridge. Even the relationship between Jamie and Claire Fraser could face its hardest test yet. For years, Claire and Jamie have stood as partners in every struggle. They have faced enemies side by side and protected each other through impossible situations. But if a betrayal touches their lives in Season 8, it could force them to question choices that once felt certain. This is what makes the final season of Outlander feel so intense. The story is no longer just about survival. It is about the emotional cost of every decision. The characters we love may be forced to make choices that hurt the very people they are trying to protect. And for Jamie Fraser, a man who values honor and loyalty above all else, betrayal could leave scars that no victory in battle can ever erase. Because sometimes the deepest wounds are not made by enemies, they are made by the people you trusted the most. As the story of Outlander moves toward its final chapter, one question continues to grow more powerful with every episode: who will truly stand beside Jamie Fraser when the storm finally arrives? Jamie has spent his life facing enemies on battlefields, but the greatest challenge of Season 8 may not come from war at all. It may come from the complicated choices people must make when history, family, and survival collide. Because the truth about betrayal is rarely simple. Sometimes it is not about hatred or revenge. Sometimes it is about sacrifice. Imagine a moment where someone close to Jamie believes that allowing a painful event to happen will protect the future. They may believe that if they interfere, the consequences could be far worse for everyone. In their heart, they may think they are doing the right thing. But for Jamie, the discovery of that choice could feel like the deepest betrayal of all. Yet there is another possibility that makes the final season even more emotional. The betrayal that everyone fears never truly happens the way we expect. What if the person accused of betraying Jamie is actually trying to protect him from something even more dangerous? Throughout the journey of Outlander, the story has always shown that love and loyalty can survive even the darkest moments. Jamie and Claire Fraser have proven time and time again that their bond is stronger than time itself. No matter what secrets appear, no matter how frightening the future becomes, their connection has always guided them back to each other. That is why the mystery of betrayal in Season 8 feels so powerful. It forces every character to face difficult choices. It asks whether loyalty can survive when the future itself is uncertain. And it reminds us that even heroes like Jamie Fraser are not protected from heartbreak. But if there's one thing fans of Outlander know for certain, it is this: Jamie Fraser does not fall easily. His strength has never come only from his sword or his courage. It comes from the people who stand beside him and the love that has carried him through every impossible moment. So the real question may not be who betrays Jamie. The real question might be who will risk everything to save him, even if it looks like betrayal at first.